Imagine being so rich that your wealth makes Jeff Bezos look broke. We're talking fortunes that could buy entire countries, reshape continents, and make modern billionaires seem like they're playing with pocket change. From ancient emperors sitting on mountains of gold to oil tycoons who controlled the world's energy, these are the 10 richest people who ever lived. Stick around, because number one commanded wealth so incomprehensible, historians literally can't calculate it. Before we count down, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling us which historical fortune shocked you most. You might think the man who put America on wheels would rank higher, but hear this out. Henry Ford's peak wealth in 1920 hit approximately $200 billion when adjusted for inflation. That's not just car money, that's revolutionized an entire industry money. Ford didn't just sell vehicles, he transformed manufacturing itself with the assembly line, making him richer than 21st century tech titans. Here's the kicker. At one point, Ford's company produced one car every 24 seconds, and he personally owned the majority of it. Imagine owning a money printer that literally never stopped running. His $5 workday wage, double the industry standard, made him a hero to workers, while his factories minted him a fortune that would make today's CEOs weep with envy. Picture this, a poor kid from Staten Island, who couldn't even spell his own name correctly, becomes richer than entire nations. Cornelius Vanderbilt's fortune peaked at $215 billion in today's money, built on railroads and steamships. This guy literally connected America coast to coast. At his death in 1877, Vanderbilt's wealth equaled over 2.5% of the entire US economy. To put that in perspective, that would be like someone today having $600 billion. The most insane part? He started with a $100 loan from his mother to buy a small ferry. From one boat to controlling America's transportation infrastructure, Vanderbilt proved that monopolies print money. His descendants built mansions so lavish, they're now national landmarks. Here's a wild fact. Andrew Carnegie sold his steel company for $480 million in 1901, which translates to roughly $310 billion today. But that's not even the craziest part. Carnegie then gave away 90% of his fortune before he died, funding over 2,500 libraries worldwide. Imagine being so rich, you could literally rebuild society's infrastructure and still die wealthy. Carnegie Steel built America's cities, railroads, and bridges. His company produced more steel than all of Great Britain at its peak. The man worked 12-hour days in factories as a kid, then became the world's steel king. He believed dying rich was dying in disgrace, so he wrote checks that built schools, concert halls, and universities that still stand today. The last Russian emperor sat on a fortune estimated at $300 billion, and most people have no idea. Nicholas II didn't just own palaces, he owned Russia itself, literally. We're talking gold reserves that filled vaults the size of football fields, jewels that would make modern royal collections look like costume jewelry, and land stretching across 11 time zones. His family's Fabergé egg collection alone would be worth hundreds of millions today. The insane detail? When Bolsheviks executed him and his family in 1918, they discovered his personal wealth was so vast, people are still finding hidden Romanov treasures over a century later. His coronation celebration alone cost the equivalent of 50 million modern dollars. Talk about living large until you can't. You've probably never heard of him, but this Indian ruler was so rich, Time magazine put him on their cover in 1937 as the world's wealthiest man. Mir Osman Ali Khan, the last Nizam of Hyderabad, had a fortune exceeding $230 billion in today's currency. This guy used a 184-carat diamond as a paperweight. Let that sink in. He owned a fleet of Rolls Royces so large, he bought a new one whenever one got dirty rather than washing it. His jewelry collection filled multiple palaces, and he ruled over a state with its own currency, railways, and airports. The wildest part? When India integrated Hyderabad in 1948, authorities found gold and jewels stuffed in every corner of his palaces. Some rooms hadn't been opened in decades. America's first billionaire wasn't just rich, he was obscenely, world-dominatingly rich. At his peak, John D. Rockefeller controlled about $350 billion in today's money, which represented nearly 2% of the entire American economy. Imagine one person controlling 2% of all the money in the United States right now. Rockefeller's Standard Oil monopoly was so powerful, the government had to literally break it into 34 separate companies. Here's the kicker. Those broken up pieces became Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, and other giants, and Rockefeller owned shares in all of them. He made more money after the breakup than before. The man gave away $500 million in his lifetime, and still died richer than almost anyone in history. His wealth was so legendary, Rockefeller became synonymous with being filthy rich. The Mughal Empire under Akbar the Great controlled roughly 1/4 of the entire world's GDP in the 1600s. Let that number sink in. 25% of everything produced on Earth flowed through territory Akbar controlled. His personal fortune is estimated at $400 billion in modern currency. The Mughal treasury held so much gold and precious stones that visiting European traders thought they'd found paradise. Akbar's court had more wealth in a single room than most European kingdoms possessed entirely. The jaw-dropping detail? His royal procession included 100 elephants draped in gold cloth, thousands of horses, and camels carrying nothing but treasure to show off his wealth. He commissioned the construction of entire cities just because he could, including Fatehpur Sikri, built from red sandstone and abandoned after 15 years. The founder of the Roman Empire didn't just rule the ancient world, he owned it. Augustus Caesar's personal fortune equaled approximately $4.6 trillion when adjusted to today's value. Yes, trillion with a T. At his peak, Augustus controlled wealth equal to 1/5 of the entire Roman Empire's economy, which was essentially the entire civilized Western world. He personally owned Egypt after conquering it, which was the ancient world's breadbasket and richest province. Imagine personally owning a country that feeds half your empire. The insane part? He was so rich that he personally funded Rome's military, infrastructure, and government out of his own pocket. When he died, his will listed gifts to Roman citizens totaling $700 million in modern money, and that was just pocket change from his estate. Biblical accounts and historical records paint King Solomon as possibly the richest person in ancient history, with an estimated fortune of $2.2 trillion. Every year, Solomon received 25 tons of gold in tribute, which is about $750 million worth annually in today's market. And that was just his regular income. His palace took 13 years to build and was described as being overlaid with pure gold everywhere. The famous Queen of Sheba visited him and was so overwhelmed by his wealth, she could barely breathe. Solomon's trading empire stretched from Egypt to Mesopotamia, and his merchant fleet brought him exotic goods, precious stones, and more gold than could be counted. Here's the mind-blowing detail. His throne was made of ivory covered in pure gold, with lions standing beside every step. 6 steps, 12 golden lions. The richest person who ever lived wasn't a tech mogul or an oil baron. It was a 14th century African king you probably never learned about in school. Mansa Musa, Emperor of Mali, possessed wealth so vast that historians say it's literally impossible to calculate, with estimates ranging from $400 billion to over $600 billion in today's money. But numbers don't capture the insanity. In 1324, Musa went on a pilgrimage to Mecca with 60,000 attendants, 12,000 slaves each carrying 4 pounds of gold bars, and 80 camels carrying 300 pounds of gold each. When he passed through Cairo, he gave away so much gold that he crashed the entire Egyptian economy for a decade. Gold became worthless because one man was too generous. His empire controlled half the world's gold and salt supply. The Mali Empire under Musa was richer than any European kingdom, and his capital city Timbuktu became a center of learning with universities when Europe was still in the Dark Ages. This is wealth so incomprehensible, it literally changed the economy of every region he visited. Here's the bonus twist that'll blow your mind. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage was so legendary that European mapmakers started drawing him on maps of Africa, holding a gold scepter, even though they'd never met him. His wealth became the stuff of myths across 3 continents. These fortunes make modern billionaires look like they're playing with monopoly money, and most of these names aren't even taught in schools. So smash that subscribe button if you want more history they didn't teach you, and drop a comment. Which historical figure's wealth shocked you the most? Or who do you think we missed?